Two Premier League legends, Robbie Fowler, who played over 250 matches for Liverpool, and Peter Schmeichel, who was the Manchester United goalkeeper in 292 games, were in India recently, and we spoke to them about the current EPL season and much more. It's the Christmas break in the EPL and the perfect time really to analyse the first half of the season. So we began by asking Fowler what his take is on England's two most successful clubs, Manchester United and Liverpool, struggling to mount a title challenge of sorts this season.
Well, look, I think Liverpool and Manchester United this year have probably been guilty of what they've. I mean, the success they've had over the years has been unbelievable, and look, both teams are not doing as well as what they would have liked this year. I mean, I'd like to focus more on Liverpool, if I'm being honest, because you know, I'm still associated with them, and look, I think maybe Liverpool were buoyed by the confidence that last year, and they should have gone into the season a little bit better. But there's a lot of things that have maybe not happened for them. There's been a few injuries; they've not really gelled.
All right, now Robbie, how much are Liverpool struggling to replace Luis Suarez, particularly this season?
Well, look, Luis Suarez. Look, I think any club in the world would miss him. He is an unbelievable player. One that we really enjoyed. His time at Liverpool. Sadly, a lot of players want to move on, and Luis is not English, so he's obviously Spanish-speaking country, so obviously he wants to go and play for Barcelona, and good luck to him. But obviously he goes there, and with all the blessing at Liverpool, we thank him for his time there. And what I will say is he became a better player at Liverpool. I know he scored a lot of goals, but as a striker, I think you're only as good as the team you're playing, and we had a lot of good players playing with him last season who maybe are not playing as well this year. So it's not just all about Luis Suarez. There's a lot of good players still at Liverpool, and I mean, this is the way forward. Players come and go, but the club will always remain there.
Right, let's take the same thing to Peter. Peter, what's your take on this issue? Tough to replace a player like Suarez, isn't it?
If you have a player that scores 30 goals a season and you can't find someone else to score 30 goals, you're going to be struggling, because it's no big secret in football. It's all about goals. How many goals do you score, and how few goals can you concede? You only win games if you score goals, and to let someone like Suarez leave the club, it's always going to be difficult. And there's no players at Liverpool who stepped up to the challenge, and that's probably the main reason that Liverpool are not enjoying the best of times.
All right, Robbie, let's talk about another player now. Is the signing of Mario Balotelli, you feel, one of Brendan Rodgers' biggest mistakes?
Look, I think it's very harsh to say it's a big mistake. I think if you look at Mario Balotelli throughout his career, he's been a success everywhere he's been. All right, he's had a slow start at Liverpool, but look, the calibre of the clubs he's played for in his relatively short career so far, I mean, it's been tremendous. So he's played for City, he's played for Liverpool, he's played for Man City, he's played for AC Milan, Inter Milan. So there's some quality teams there. So obviously he's a very talented player. So it's not happened for him yet, but I'm confident in the manager, as I said before, and he will get the best out of Mario Balotelli.
Right, Peter, how do you view this entire issue, the signing of Mario Balotelli by the Reds? Is it a mistake? Could it possibly perhaps cost Rodgers his job?
Mario Balotelli is a difficult one, isn't he? I think when he's on top form, he's one of the best players in the world. But he hasn't shown that at all for Liverpool. I'm not sure if it's going to cost Brendan Rodgers his job. But if you can get him going, he's got someone there who can score a lot of goals. So let's see what the rest of the season has in store for someone like Mario Balotelli.
Right, let's talk about the league overall. Robbie, to you, are Chelsea, according to you, the favourites to win the title this season, or perhaps can Manchester City beat the Blues to the title?
Well, look, on paper, I think, if we're being honest, the Premier League, Barclays Premier League this year will be about Chelsea and Manchester City. City of late have put in a few good results. Sadly they're going to miss Aguero. He's a fantastic player. But look, Chelsea do look the strongest. Chelsea are a very good team. I think they've got so much pace and power, all through the squad, in all positions. So they are the team to beat for me.
All right, Chelsea, the team to beat for Robbie Fowler. Peter, overall, is the EPL still the best league in Europe, you would say?
I think the Barclays Premier League not only is the best in Europe, I also think it's the best in the world. I think it's the only league where everybody can beat everybody. And even as a top team, there are no guarantees that you will win the game that you will play, because the other team will go into the game thinking that they can win as well.
Right, Peter, talking about Manchester United specifically, would you say Van Gaal is the right man to lead United now after the debacle of the Moyes era?
I think Van Gaal is definitely the right personality to take Manchester United forward. He has an ego which is big, which I think is important. I don't think he cares about criticism or he doesn't, I don't think he reads the press. He's got a clear idea of what he wants to do, and he's doing it, and he's doing it to his beliefs, not to any other person or institution belief. And I think that's important. That's the only way that Manchester United can move forward.
Right, let's talk about something else now. Robbie, your take on the Indian Super League or the ISL, can it perhaps redefine football in India, you think?
Look, I think what we must remember is the Indian did have a league here before, and I know Ashley Westwood has done a tremendous job in Bengaluru. Obviously the ISL has probably heightened everyone's love for the game, if you like, over here. Look, I know football's not the #1 sport here, cricket is, and I think anyone will be naive to think football will overtake it. It probably won't. But look, you've got to say the ISL has been a massive success. It's been the first one. I think everyone's been really pleased with the way it's gone. And after the first one, I think it'll just go on to be bigger and better. It was always the case. So for me, it's been a success. The crowds have turned out in the numbers, and the football's been very good. So let's hope it continues.
Right, one final question, Robbie, and this one's a tough one, really. Who is the best footballer in the world, according to you? Is it Messi or is it Cristiano Ronaldo?
Again, it's a real tough one. Best footballer in the world at the minute. For me, I would go for Ronaldo. I think Messi is an unbelievable player, and look, Messi was the #1 for years and years, and for me, Ronaldo was just overtaking him. I think you look at his form the last couple of years; he's been tremendous. It's been quite freaky, if I'm being honest. And if I was to pick one player ahead of the other, I think Ronaldo, just for me.
Right, so will the Ballon d'Or go to Cristiano Ronaldo once again? Robbie Fowler, Peter Schmeichel, thank you both so much for joining us.